Everybody, it's Psychic Hunter David. Well, it is Monday, another Monday, week after week after week after week after week. I had a really crazy busy weekend. It's been a time with all of us where there's never a dull moment, especially when we're between eclipses. There's a lead up, there's a lot. It's really interesting. I've had a lot of fascinating conversations with clients because, clarity comes about in one's life when you least expect it. That all of a sudden things seem clear. After, being as busy as I am, you tend to think, pull back. And my dreams, I am not remembering at the moment, but I'm feeling clear in regards to focus. And my sinuses are clearing up a bit because I realized that we found a little bit of part of the problem in here. Thank God I'm working with this specialist from my doctor, so this is going to be a good thing. And I am going to definitely get the work done anyway, because I want this cleared out. And I'm going to also change my diet, which has been really interesting. So one of the things that is really important in regards to going forth with each and every one of us is paying close attention to the fact that deliberations, decisions, commitments to anything at this exact second are not most advisable because we're in a Mercury retrograde. Secondly, we're eclipsing next weekend. I actually was invited to go away. As I stated before, Chloe is still going to go through her recovery scenario, and I've opted out. I already made up my mind anyway a week or two ago that I wasn't going to be able to make it, and I'm making priority my priorities because this has been me, raised eldest child, and that's the way the ball bounces. So this is a really interesting time. So we're moving into that eclipse on Friday of next week as we progress into that whole eclipse in Scorpio. It's really interesting, as I'm going to intervene here just for a second about the royal coronation of Charles III, King Charles III. Quite fascinating. He reminds me a little bit of his great ancestor Charles II. Obviously not in looks, because Charles II I think was extremely attractive. Reminds me of my brother when he was younger. But the big hair, the rocker dude. The thing that I want you to understand that's really quite interesting is Charles and his deliberations, albeit that it's his advisors or whatever, I think are actually very apropos. I've heard a lot of flack. I have a tremendous amount of respect for a lot of historians, a lot of doctors that are of history, and a lot of them have been sort of a bit, going on about Charles, and I'm just intervening this for intellectual sake. First of all, we're in a multifaceted Western structure. And, Charles, moving into an extremely religious role. So I can see both sides of the coin. Religious role that was structured, it was always, a king or queen was always indoctrined as a very, very, very spiritual role to take on, being paid for or not. None of us are going to work for free. And I hear this from clients and they'll say, well, he's being paid, they're being paid. Well, so are our politicians. So are you in your chosen profession. So am I. So there's monies, and money is a means of exchange. I'd love to see people get rid of this. And one of the things, maybe it's because I have Venus and Mars in the constellation of Aquarius. One of the things that's going to happen, and I'm going to intervene again, it's a second intervene, but I'm going to go back to the whole coronation next weekend, is the fact that Pluto's sojourn of Aquarius, this is my philosophy, Pluto's sojourn of Aquarius, yes, AI will come into play, but the bottom line is Aquarius is the age to which we are now focusing on. Went through the Piscean period for a very long time. We've also had, quite interestingly enough, Pluto go through the sojourn of Capricorn. That means has traveled through. That was from 2008. It is now drying up. It is now moving toward Aquarius, 0 degrees Aquarius, going to move back to Capricorn for all of us to get our what together from mid-June through next January. Little bleep in 2024, but for the most part, it is going to go forward in that third week of January 2024. So what we want to understand here, everybody, the world has changed. The world is continually changing. We're evolving. We're moving toward a new world. It's another thing, we don't have to worry about grand reset. Sure, there's going to be an economic. I've mentioned this is my philosophy, that Britain, Canada, and America will lead the pack in the West. There will be a digital currency. There will be a co-interactive currency, probably not unlike the euro, but quite different. Britain could take the lead, being Capricorn. Canada and America are Cancer signs. So there's a lot going on. Quite interestingly enough, by the way, that it was a British affiliate that took over HSBC with the collapse of the Chinese pulling out. So there's a lot of things going on. And correct me if I'm wrong on that. I'd like to hear feedback. But the thing that's really quite interesting is how things are evolving. So here we have Charles, back to Charles and his coronation for a moment. You have a man who is Scorpio with Moon and Taurus. He's going through the eclipses. His mom was a Taurus. I don't really know where her moon was. Her moon could have been Scorpio. Fascinating thing is that he is now standing in this role. He's Charles III. Each Charles has been extremely important in their station. Charles I, of course, sadly lost his head, but it caused the British to go through a reevaluation, which later turned out to be the fact that they wanted an instated monarch, which took place. Now you've got Charles saying, no, I want a rabbi, I want to have the Eastern Orthodox, I want to have Catholic involvement, I want to have many other faiths, including the Scottish Presbyterian, speak and participate in my coronation for the people. Excellent. I hope somebody's there as a representative, of course, of the Muslim faith as well, and of course of the Hindu faith. So all of these things to me are bona fide. They're excellent. They are not negative. Apparently there's somebody's else going to go representing the Aga Khan. This is fantastic. This is not a negative. So we've got a lot of things that are evolving that are showing us the age of Aquarius and Pluto's move. Aquarians, take care of yourself. I've mentioned this to you numerous times. Watch your health. Things that are being shown to Aquarius now, same with Virgos, by the way, things that are being shown to us now are there to get us to take better care of ourselves, to make the amended decisions, deliberations, etc., that we know we need to do. That also means not overburdening. When I get busy now, I'm going to back up. I'm going to say, okay, I've been busy, taking a day to me, day to Chloe. Chloe's got stuff to be done. I've got things to resolve. So the thing we have to all understand is that this is an extremely important period of time. It's an extremely important period of time for all of us across the board, preparing and getting into and going through next week. Really powerful. Now I'm working, still have availabilities obviously through the week. Today I'm quite busy, out of the blue, some stuff I had to do, and then I became busy as well with clients from all over. And I'm going to be working the rest of the week. But as I said, pay very close attention to what's coming, folks. You heard it here first. Cheers.